I just want to start by saying that I wasn't born vegan and I wasn't even born vegetarian. You see, for almost 21 years of my life, I consumed meat, dairy and egg products. It's not just that I consumed them, I loved them, right? I loved how they tasted. I'd have them every single day of my life. I looked forward to the flavors and the textures. I looked forward to getting that nutrition and that satisfaction from consuming those products. I get Domino's pizza pretty much every single week, 2 for Tuesday. I'd always get Texan barbecue, I'd always get meat feast, and they'd always both come with extra mozzarella and cheesy stuffed crust as well. I went into my local KFC so often that the people who worked there knew me by my name and knew what my favorite order was, which was a Zinger box meal with extra hot wings. So when I went in, they say, "Oh, hi Ed, you want your Zinger box meal with extra hot wings?" And I'd be like, "Absolutely, please, as quick as you can." You see, I loved the flavor of these products. I really enjoyed them. I used to wear things made out of leather and wool and silk and down. I'd buy cosmetics like shampoos and shower gels without ever considering whether or not they were tested on animals. And going to the zoo was literally one of my favorite things to do. And I did it because I was an animal lover. I liked observing these animals. I thought it was a nice thing to do to see them. I enjoyed seeing these animals. Veganism wasn't something that I was born with. The morality of veganism wasn't something that I was born with. It's something that I grew and educated myself on and learnt more and more about. Now, everything started to change for me about 5 years ago. I was having a pizza with a friend, and my friend was veggie and I wasn't at this point. And I said to him, "Should we get bacon on the pizza?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Why not, right? Why would you not want to get bacon on pizza? I mean, bacon belongs on pizza. Can you even call it pizza if there's not bacon on top?" And he said, "Ed, I don't think an animal should die for a pizza topping." I said, "What are you talking about? These animals are bred for that purpose. We give them life, they give us bacon. Bacon is life, right?" That's what I used to say. I was one of those bacon is life people, but ironically, bacon is very much death. Now, at that point, I'd never once really contemplated why I consumed animals. I'd not ever really once contemplated why someone wouldn't eat animals. The concept of just consuming animals was so normal, it was so natural, I thought it was necessary. It's what I did every day, so why would I question it? Now, 4 years ago, around 4 years ago, May 2014, I came across this story in the news. It was in the BBC News. It was about a truck carrying 7,000 chickens crashing just off the M62 near Manchester. And it really disturbed me, this story, because the journalist was talking about how hundreds of these animals had died on impact. In fact, I think in total it was 1,500 of the birds died on the impact alone. But what disturbed me even more was that there were hundreds more of them that were alive, but they were mutilated. They had broken bones and broken wings. Their faces were literally hanging off, and I saw pictures of it. Their faces were hanging off, their combs were hanging off, their beaks were hanging off, and they were alive, and they were suffering, and they were in pain. And I remember reading this article and thinking how horrible it must be for these animals, what terrible suffering they must be enduring. But at that very moment, it dawned on me that in my fridge, there was chicken breasts and chicken thighs and yesterday's KFC. And therefore I was a hypocrite for feeling sorry for these animals when the only reason they were there in the first place was because I ate their flesh and therefore demanded that they be slaughtered on my behalf. So that moment, when I was reading that article, caused me to question my lifestyle, question my actions, question things I'd never thought to question before. It made me say to myself, how do I morally justify doing these things to animals? Are my taste buds more important than their life? I was a hypocrite for feeling sorry for these animals because they were there because of me. So I made the choice that day to change my lifestyle, to change what I ate. I became veggie, and then I learned more about the dairy and egg industries and eventually became vegan. Now, the purpose of what I'm about to say to you and the purpose of this film isn't to make you feel bad. It's not to say that you're a bad person, because quite simply, that isn't true. It's not to say that you're consciously living an immoral lifestyle, because again, quite simply, that isn't true. The purpose of what I'm going to say and the purpose of the film is to make you question yourself in the same way that that truck story or the truck crash story made me question myself. It's to make you maybe question the lifestyle that you've been living all your life and make you ask the questions that I asked myself. Are my taste buds more important than the life of an animal?